Hello, everyone. Good morning, and thank you for joining us again for our meditation practice. So nice to be here with you. As we are doing, and I shared with you, let's have a little bit of tea. You can always prepare this before we sit. We just use a little amount. It's not a full cup of tea. Again, it's just enough that, as I was saying, it changes the acidity to alkaline in our body, which is the cause for lots of joint pain and other issues. So therefore, by changing that, when we're sleeping, it becomes more acidic, and then through this, it changes it back to alkaline. So usual amount is that you have about 3 drinks, 3 sips, and you can finish. This was good today. Hi. So one thing you may want to do with the umeboshi, you can buy it and then kind of break it up inside the water and let it sit for about 5-10 minutes, and then before you have it, add some hot water to it so that it's warm. Hi, okay, so let us begin. Let's first take a moment to stretch our body. Let's turn to the left, to the right. Good. And what we're going to do, we're going to do our arms. Left arm, right arm crossed, left arm. And we can do our shoulders, back, forward. Now again, this is not to break a sweat, but actually to just loosen our body up. After I do meditation, that is when I usually do my asana practice, which is the stretching practice, okay? So first we're going to go forward and back using the weight of our movement of our body, the natural weight of our head, so we're not causing whiplash. We're just simply moving with it. Good. Then we're going to go towards this angle with our leg. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to go opposite angle here. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to go in the circle. So go forward, move your body, let it naturally go in the circle. This time 3. Then opposite way. Your next little step, just work with it. Just let it move naturally around. Good. Then I stretch forward my shoulders. Good. Then we prepare ourselves. Let's take a moment and check in with ourselves. We can place our hands gently. Let's take a look first. Today is December 16th. We'll be having our seminar today. The weather is very mild today, not too bad compared, to New York is a lot colder. Let's take a look at our state of our mind. Is our mind relaxed, or is it a little bit foggy? Has it not yet woken up? And then look at our body. Do we have any tenseness? If we have any tenseness, such as I have a little tenseness in my shoulders, so I'm going to tighten and relax. Tighten and relax. Okay? Just send your mind to the spot, tighten, then relax it. Now let's take a look at our breathing. How is your breathing? Shallow. Usually when you're waking up, breathing tends to be a little more shallow sometimes. So as we talk about this idea of prana, they use the word pranayama. Prana is another way of saying ki or chi, or this kind of universal energy. Not just energy, but and most people say that it has to do with breathing, but actually all the ancient texts state that it has to do with your lungs and the movement and control of your lungs. So the idea of yoga and meditation that we're utilizing through this kind of control. That's why there's something you have to learn. We do have automatic responsive breathing, right? But yet, in order to attain and awaken the state of samadhi and through dhyana concentration, we have to use our lungs. That's where we actually effectuate change through our practice. So let's put our hands together here and let's do 3 purifying breaths. Let's breathe through our nose for 3, hold for 5, exhale for 7. Let us begin. Breathe in, hold, exhale. When you exhale, you're feeling all of the energy, all of the negativity coming out from every core body, Master Yantai says. Then we breathe in again. Hold. Exhale. And I go forward just to give it that extra denseness, to push out that little bit. Then breathe in again. Hold. Exhale. All of that tension we're letting out. And we're going to breathe in. Sit our body upright. We can move a little to the left, to the right, like a pendulum, making big to smaller movements front to back, finding that spot. Now, Master Tiantai uses the metaphor as a stone anchor. So I think instead of just saying a stone mountain or something, he says sit like an anchor, a stone anchor, because I think as the earth moves, sometimes we gently move, but it's all so subtle. Right, we're not forced to stay there, but yet we're calming the mind. We're putting in the natural rhythm of the turning of the earth. So I feel that that's why, because if you ever seen an anchor, it's very heavy, but yet it gives a little way. The ancient stone anchors that he might be talking about, but it doesn't move at the bottom. It just moves, fluctuates with the water. Okay. Then let's put our hands together, Hokkai Join, left on top of the right, thumbs touching. And then also, if you can, put your ears over your shoulder. Before you do that, you can adjust your head, kind of gently pushing forward. That means tucking in the chin. This allows the prana to come out through the mouth naturally and through the nose. Close our eyes gently, putting the tip of our tongue behind the upper roof of our mouth and teeth. Okay. Now we're going to use the meditation, the concentration for exhaling. You can use the Daimoku, Namu Myoho Renge Kyo. And for the inhalation, you simply observe. Okay, so with the sound of the bell, we're going to begin our meditation, allowing our mind to drift into awareness and concentration. Let us release our attention, our concentration, bringing our awareness back to our body. Let's take a moment here and observe. First, let us observe mindfully without any judgment. State of our mind. Has it become calmer? Do we feel more concentrated, aware, perhaps in harmony, less agitation? And let's take a look at our body. Is our body more balanced? Is there any part of our body that is warm? As I said, my hands and feet become very warm, and my core. Feel a natural balance. And let's take a look at our breathing. How about our breathing? Has it become longer, deeper, balanced? Without any judgment, just simply watching. There's no good or bad. There's just practice. Now let us bring more attention back to our body by moving our fingers, opening and closing our fingers, starting with our little finger to our thumbs a few times here. Start moving our body a little bit, rubbing our hands together, placing over our eyes, naturally opening your fingers, allowing the light to naturally come in. So gently, being gentle with yourself. Then rubbing the gallbladder meridians on the top of your head, down to your neck, shoulder, kidneys. Very wonderful to have the experience to find balance, because I think the majority of people, and the one thing that specifically Buddhism offers is this reestablishment of nature. Many people seem as if they're drifting aimlessly throughout life, in the sense without any interaction with themselves, that it's almost like a dream. And indeed, life can become like a dream, and soon, before you know it, it's over. So Buddhism allows us to effectively and efficiently interact with our life, that we can make the possible changes in this life as humans towards the perhaps natural state, okay, based on nonviolence, based on mindfulness. And through that, we can actually live and participate in a more positive life. And indeed, I believe that is what happiness is. In continuation of what we were speaking on earlier yesterday, was concerning the idea of spiritual maturity. A core component of a healthy personal growth and developing a sustained capacity for our work is achieving spiritual maturity. Those approaching elderhood and adults with terminal illnesses at any age seem to have an opportunity to accelerate the spiritual maturity process. It has been suggested that, quote, the developmental task of advanced age can be viewed as a spiritual one. The core struggle during this late stage of age is between personal integrity and despair. Coping with a life-limiting illness can be compared to the normal aging process. Advanced illness may serve as a catalyst for spiritual growth, as a person's life and time left to achieve development is truncated the disease process. Patients with a life-threatening illness and the elderly will benefit from engaging consciously in the aging/dying process, and by embracing the occasion for learning and spiritual development. Now, one of the interesting aspects of this is that there is the proper timing. So one thing that my teacher has taught to me is that when I was 21, I was trying to understand the 80-year-old's mindset. mindset in the modern, and that was improper because every age has something to teach us. Has a teaching of 22, 22. But also, we have to be able to understand through practice of Buddhism these core concepts without necessarily the Buddha offered us that we can naturally not only understand what we need to as we age or with a perhaps terminal illness, but that now in this body where we are, we can aspire to have the same awareness, the same awakening. Therefore, we don't have to wait till we are old and or that we have a terminal illness. Because actually, Master Tiantai says suffering is a type of illness. So therefore, the idea of overcoming illness, which is one of the chapters of the Makashikan, says that through meditation, through Dhyana, we can overcome the illness of being stuck, because that is a kind of sickness, being stuck, being greed, hatred, ignorance, the three poisons, and allow us to actually live our lives, to participate in our lives, to make effective changes in our lives, and to be able to feel every day that we have accomplished something positive. And then, therefore, of course, that extends to all aspects of our life. So that's why practice is core. So the sutra says, and somebody had mentioned the other day when they had heard, even at the cost of your life, you should practice. They thought, oh, that is very severe. But in actuality, this is about life and death. Whether you realize it now or as you're aging with a terminal illness, etc. Sometimes that becomes more difficult to practice. So therefore, Master Tiantai says we should practice while we are healthy and prepare ourselves that when we do have to face those aspects of life, sickness, old age, and death, as the Buddha has stated, we have a different mindset. We can see things, and then also not to live a life of this or regret. Many people are constantly living a life full of despair and regret, and also of lack, that they feel they're missing something. But through this practice, we can feel we have multiple opportunities, innumerable treasures, and that anything that happens to us, we welcome as a good teaching because it allows us to progress as humans, progress as Buddhas, and to become beneficial not only for ourselves but for others in this world. So thank you very much, and I hope you are feeling that you're realizing there is a positive, very positive direction, a very positive attitude that comes with our practice and study. So shortly we will begin with our morning service on YouTube, on Facebook. Please join us for the daily morning service. And please continue this. And if you're able to also, I would recommend practicing in the afternoon after you come home from work, before you do Gongyo. They say that the best time is in afternoon and dusk. So right before the changing of time is very important, before it becomes the evening is a good time to practice, okay? So thank you very much, everyone. May you have an enlightened day, be peaceful, and may you achieve dhyana concentration.